Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are continuing Married at First Sight, Season 20, Episodes 8 and 9. So yeah, I'm going to do both episodes in this review here. So I'm just going to get started. So in these episodes, we're just like basically in episode 8, everybody is just chilling and like just doing their own thing, and then episode 9 was the big group therapy session with the experts and stuff, and we'll talk more about that in a few. So the first couple I want to talk is, and I'm going to kind of combine the episode couples with the two episodes and do my best with that. The first couple, I actually want to start with Courtney and Nick. So Courtney and Nick, in these episodes, we went to Courtney's family's house and everything to meet her brothers. I think she also has a brother named Nick as well, and everything, and to talk with the parents and stuff and everything, and the sisters. And, they wanted to like basically like grill him, about everything, and they wanted to talk about basically like, okay, where we're going to be at with kids, are we going to be moving, etc., and everything. Courtney wants them to basically nitpick at Nick, like to get it out and everything, but they really had a hard time doing it, in my opinion. Nick seemed very genuine when he was talking to her family and stuff. But then that just leads me to their group session, the group session with the experts. Courtney feels Courtney has they have Nick and Courtney had a conversation, and he asked her like, when was your last like serious relationship? And she was like about 3 years ago, but she said that it really wasn't all of that serious, and that we didn't really go on dates that much. He was just there. He didn't really show for me, but Courtney is so uptight, and they talked about this in the therapy session, that she doesn't know how to receive somebody who's just like really into her for the right reasons and stuff and everything. So she's always like doubting herself and everything. And what in the therapy session, Nick was just like, like he feels like he's like being punished, like for being his awkward self. Because remember what I said in the beginning, that with Courtney and Nick, like, especially when they were on their honeymoon, that Nick got really quiet a lot, and Courtney was just like, come on, just like let me throw him in the water and stuff and everything. She said that it is okay for you to be awkward. We need to be awkward, and we need to like quit being so uptight, and just like let loose a little bit, just get a little bit more excitement and stuff and everything. So I don't know. This whole time, I just feel like Courtney's just in her head. But I agree with Dr. Lisa had said, I had asked that question about like, do you feel like do you feel you don't really know how it feels to be like truly like for someone to be into you and stuff and everything. I agree with that question. She really doesn't know how. So she's just so much in her head and just wants everything done like a certain type of way, but she just doesn't know how to handle it. Now the thing is that Nick has been very patient with her, and I think they said that, she even thanked him for keep showing up every day for her and stuff, because like, yeah, she's been, and even Dr. Lisa had said that she's been a tough cookie to tough cookie this whole time. So yeah, they're a work in progress, but I mean, I do appreciate, I've said the whole time that she was going to be the one that, I was just like, but I do see I see her trying. At least I'll say that she is trying, so I'll give her that. So yeah, but yeah, it, with them, it's hard because, yeah, it's just the same thing over again. It's just a lot of questions, and just not she's basically not letting anything flow naturally, in my opinion. She needs to just let it go with the flow. She clearly has not had good relationships in the past. Like, she's admitted to that plenty of times, that she has not had successful relationships and everything. And so I think she just expects everybody to be a certain type of way when it's not really the case, basically. So I mean, that's just my opinion on that, but we'll see how it all like ends out, really. So yeah, but yeah, that was Nick and Courtney. The next couple I want to talk is Tori and Felipe. So Tori and Felipe, they also get to see the family. They went to Felipe's family, I believe. They had a good, the family loves Tori. She's amazing. She's just amazing. The only thing with Felipe, and I said this in the last video, that he is struggling with, and he talked a little bit about the therapy session about, just being monogamous. He's worried about, like, can you really love one person for so long and stuff and everything. Now, throughout the process, Dr. Paul has been hard on him because he was the party guy showing up late to the consults and everything, and this and that and everything. But we've seen a growth with him. Now, in their therapy session, they asked Tori, like, okay, what actually happened that night that they were intimate and stuff. And I mean, she kind of stuck to her word. She just said that, it still had nothing to do with him. It just, she just felt like way too vulnerable in that moment. And the experts asked, has there ever been like a time after that where it just gotten a little bit better? And she said yes. So as of right now, again, Tori and Felipe are at a good place right now. But judging by the previews of next week, that's all going to change because Felipe is going to do something to screw it up, in my opinion. Everybody, right now they're all lovey-dovey and everything, but I don't know. He's just going to do something to screw it up. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. But yeah, that was Tori and Felipe. We didn't see, it wasn't much to get out of them in this episode. The next couple I want to talk, I actually want to talk, I normally say them for last, but I want to get them out of the way this time, is Nikki and Sean. So Nikki and Sean, in episode 8, they met with Dr. Paul, and he asked them, like, how would you rate your relationship right now? And Nikki said that she would rate between 2 on a scale of 1 to 10, and Nikki said a 2 out of 10, and Sean said a 7.5 out of 10. I'm like, they are, and he was just like, you guys are on like 2 different pathways of this marriage right now. So how can we all come together? And Nikki said that, I can see why we match. He has like a lot of good qualities, but the problem is in this relationship, we both want to be right. He always wants to try to one-up me on everything. He always has a lot to say. I don't feel like I'm being heard, and this and that and everything. And so he gave them some homework to do. They had Nikki and Sean actually did have a nice romantic dinner and stuff and everything, and followed, just open up and have more deep conversations. I think they had like baked potatoes and chicken and whatever and stuff and everything. And then what's weird about it is that when they had their therapy session, they acted like they were the best couple for some reason. And the other couples called BS on it because they said that during the therapy session, after doing their homework, they can relate their relationship on a 10 out of 10 now, or a 9 out of 10 and everything. They said that, what, we kind of did everything backwards. Sean said that, we started off like with a lot of problems, but we're actually working through them and actually becoming more happy as everybody else is happy before they start with the problems. That's good, but everybody was like, everyone's thinking, okay, but still, that's just BS. Like, you guys are the couple, everybody called BS. They were like, you guys are the couple that are more than likely are not going to make it. I call BS. Like, you can't just go from, especially from the last dinner, from hating, like, can't stand each other, to, okay, now you feel like your relationship's at a 10 out of 10. Get the heck on out of here. Get the heck out of here. They are not at the 10 out of 10. I agree with Nikki that they're at a 2. I wouldn't say a 2 out of 10. I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna give them a 4 out of 10. They because same thing. They just want to be right. They both want to be right. They both try to one up each other. Sean's a doctor, so he's very smart, and he's very smart on. He knows exactly what he's doing. But Nikki's a really strong, independent woman. So yeah. So speaking of strong, independent women, let's talk about Caitlin and Devin. Caitlin and Devin. So in these episodes, we first seen Caitlin teach a workout class. Like she looked like she was being a workout instructor. Everybody was happy to see her. She does a workout, and then we meet with Caitlin's friends, and basically it's still the same thing. Um, Caitlin and her friends, like, they love their space. And, Devin says that, he wants to always, like, be around his partner. Like, he wants to, like, show up for his partner. He wants to, like, make sure she's okay, this, and that, and everything. And Caitlin's complete opposite. She's very independent, and she wants her own space and everything. And even her friend said that, my husband was just out of town, and he said he had to go somewhere else for some days. And I'm just like, okay, go ahead, have fun. So I don't, my opinion with this, like, Caitlyn just seems like the person, she wants to be married, but she doesn't want her husband around. I think she just wants to be married, just the fact that to say that she is married and has a husband, but she doesn't want him around, only when it's convenient for her. Okay, like, if you go out with your friends, please go, and everything. Okay, maybe tonight we'll have a date night. I mean, anything could happen behind the scenes and everything. But Caitlin's friends asked Devin, like, what do you like about Caitlin? And Devin said, he loves the fact that she shows up for her friends and family and stuff and everything. And that's like one of the big qualities to have.
Just hated how much, like, panic and anxiety I had. And so I really feel like
she mentioned how when they were in the therapy session, and talking about this, she mentioned that she just hated that she had a lot of panic and anxiety, like, just like throughout this whole situation. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to see something.
I really like everything about.
She mentioned that Caitlin said that she mentioned that she really does like everything about Devin, that he is a great guy and everything. Now she came from, like, a hard past too. She said she used to be really crazy and impulsive back in the day, and that she's trying to basically working on that herself and everything. So, but some of the things that during the therapy session, Dr. Bronson says that she wants things a certain type of way, and she said that only works for yourself, and it doesn't work for a marriage. So, I mean, it just goes back to what I said. Like, she needs to work on wanting to be around her husband. Now, she could say all she wants, oh, I like everything about Devin and everything, but she only wants to be around him when it's convenient for her. Because I think realistically, if the cameras weren't rolling, we hardly would see her. And yes, does Devin need to, like, okay, not take it so much? Yeah, a little bit, but I see his frustration. I would be frustrated too if my wife wasn't, like, fully there. I mean, okay, my wife loves me, obviously, but I would feel a certain type of way if my wife didn't really want to be around me that much. That's just my take on that. So yeah. But yeah, that was Caitlin and Devin. The next couple I want to talk is Michelle and Cameron. Now, Michelle and Cameron, they're sweethearts. They are sweethearts. They're sweethearts. That's all I can say. We see them have a dinner. I talked about this in the last video. They had a dinner on episode 8. And Michelle said that she was very specific on what she wants out of what she told the experts, or what she wants financially. And she said that she wanted someone that made, like, at least $100K or something like that. And Cameron was like, well, I don't make that much and everything. So he said that, because you remember he coaches basketball. Mind you, he coaches basketball at the community college level, but he does travel a lot. And, their storyline is like, are they going to live in Seattle or are they going to live in Portland, Oregon and stuff? And so they had a conversation about that, and then they kind of had like a small little tidbit because I think for a second he felt emasculated a little bit because like it sounds like Michelle actually makes more money than him. Now, when Married at First Sight, that's always one of the questions they always ask, is it? They ask the woman, is it okay if you make more, if your partner makes more than you, and stuff and everything? And, like, are you okay? They always ask each other, or like the guys, like, are you okay with your wife making more money than you? And at first Cameron felt emasculated by it, but after talking to Michelle about it, she's like, Michelle's like, you know what? I don't care. Like, you're awesome. Like, like I'm in this for you and stuff and everything. Like, we'll work on it together. And then Cameron came along and said, you know what? I'm proud of Michelle. Like, she worked hard and she deserved to get, like, to be where she's at and everything. Now, Cameron actually has to go to Portland for some coaching and stuff, and for some basketball, and he's going to be gone for a week. And he said that he's going to really miss it. Now, unlike Caitlin and Devin, like Michelle really wants to be around her husband and is going to miss him while he's gone and stuff and everything. Cameron said that, like, asked Michelle, like, do you like a morning text? Do you like a night text? Like, she's like, oh, yes. Like, I would like a good morning text, a good night text, maybe, and maybe like a FaceTime before bedtime, something like that. Just let me know you're okay and everything. And I'm going to miss you. I'm going to really miss you. And so during their therapy session, Michelle admitted that, that they actually finally consummated their marriage and stuff. So good for them. One thing with Cameron and Michelle is that, like, as he gets ready to leave, where are we going to live? And he said that, like, Michelle was like, maybe I could get a remote job and stuff. And, he's like, I don't want you to have to uproot your whole life for me. Like, whatever decision that we make, we have to make this together and everything. Like, like, I don't want you to uproot your life and everything, and vice versa. Whatever we decide, we're going to decide this together. And I love that. I love that. Now that's that's basically how you do it. That is how you do it. Just follow Michelle and Cameron. Nope. Why is it everybody's always loving a certain other couple, but nobody's loving on Michelle and Cameron? Like, I love Michelle and Cameron. So, and I'm glad she's coming around. I'm when people talk about their finances, like, I always give them the side eye. I'm like, oh, is it gonna be like that? Gonna be like that. But when you have like a strong foundation, strong connection with somebody, all of that goes out the window. You know what? This person's a great person. We could work on this together, and it could go like that. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really happy on where Michelle and Cameron are at in their marriages. So yeah, that was Michelle and Cameron. The next couple I want to talk is Mecca and Bella Jolie. So Mecca and Bella Jolie, they met with Dr. Lisa, and they talked about the attraction on where they're at. Apparently, they have not been intimate at this point, and they're kissing each other on the foreheads. They said they kiss on the lips, but they kiss a lot on the foreheads and cheeks. Dr. Lisa was like, well, I give my kids forehead kisses all the time. So she was like, you give forehead kisses all the time. So they talked about when they talked about the attraction, when, like, who's more attractive, me or him, or this and that and everything. And Dr. Lisa was like, that was really kind of a terrible thing to ask and everything. But one of the main things is that they both have like a lot of family trauma. And they asked Mecca, like, do you feel like considering what's happened to your family, do you feel like that she could possibly leave? And does that worry you? And he said, yes. And so, that was one thing that he opened up about. Now, on on the other episode, we seen Mecca and Bella Jolie go to his work site, and we also met up with Mecca's grandmother, and said that this is a family-owned business, and I might pass this down to you when I retire. So, and I thought that was pretty nice. Now, when they had their therapy session, this is where it kind of got deep. Dr. Lisa told the group that Mecca was just like, you know what, when I told Mecca that he was going to get married at first sight, he almost started crying because he was so happy that there was a possibility that someone was actually going to love him for him. Mecca opened up and said that, you know, I don't think sometimes I'm deserving of love or anybody's going to love me the way I should be. And Bella Jolie said that, you know what, like, if nobody's going to do it, I'm going to be there for you in that kind of way. I'm going to show up for you. And when Mecca said that, I really felt him on that. I can relate 100% on that. Before I met my girlfriend, I was like, you know, I don't talk much personal stuff, but before I met my girlfriend, I went through so much rejection. Like I tried dating apps. I tried like asking people out, like I embarrassed myself a few times in the mix. I mean, catfish, etc. And you know, I'm the nice guy. I'm not perfect. I'm the nice guy. And trying to find somebody that wanted the nice guy was not easy. And, you know, I'm friends with a lot of people, but nobody saw me more than a friend. And nobody was going to love me the way that I feel like I deserve to be loved without sounding conceited or cocky. So that really touched my heart that Mecca opened up about that. Now, they talked about how they were acting at the dinner on the previous episode. Michelle actually kind of like called them out, like in a good way, like in a weird way a little bit, and they were kind of taken back by it. Michelle said that when they were at the dinner that they were acting performative, and she said that she was getting whiplash by listening to him. But during this conversation, she loved the fact that he opened up about it and everything. Now they asked, like, okay, when they were the way they were acted at the dinner and just acting all crazy, was that authentic? Bella Jolie said that it was authentic, and everything. So like we don't understand why, like, you know, Michelle thought that it wasn't and everything, but it was. So yeah, like, and they said that they gotten past the forehead kisses and the whole kit and caboodle at this point now. So like good for them. Basically good for them. They're coming a long way, but you know the thing is with them, as I said, they are the same person, and they're not toxic. They're not toxic, but they are the same person. But that can come back and haunt you down the road, because I've seen a lot of people that are the same person, and it may be fun at first, but it's going to get really tiring soon. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that, but I do appreciate their growth and everything. So yeah. So that was Mecca and Bella Jolie. And the last couple we gotta talk is Adam and Marissa. Oh, they are the goofy couple. So in these episodes, Adam and Marissa, like they brought some paint home, and first, we went over to Marissa's apartment, and Marissa had a really, really nice apartment. But she said that she was kind of concerned because since Adam has that lake house, whatever, that this was going to be like underwhelming to her. But I'm thinking, for what? Okay, yes, he has a lake house, but this apartment is nice. Like, ain't overwhelming, shoot. Shoot, like they both got it going on. So good for them. And everything. So they got some paint and they started painting each other and everything. Then they gave each other massages, and then Adam's cat like jumped up on her and stuff and everything. They just, you know, they had a interesting group therapy session. Dr. Paul, man, he was savage with Adam, and during the therapy session. So Adam comes in now. Remember in the last episode, Adam showed up at dinner with this unique outfit. This episode, coming into the therapy session, he shows up with his shirt unbuttoned as he was outside. Now he buttoned the shirt back up, like when all the couples got in and get the therapy. Dr. Paul called him out on that. He was like, "Okay, so you came in unbuttoned, and then you buttoned up before we started. Good." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I was just outside doing this," or whatever. And Dr. Paul was like, "You know what? And that's what we're not going to do." So Dr. Paul called out Adam because he feels like Adam has been doing nothing but deflecting and just basically not taking it seriously. Because Adam and Marissa had just been like goofy, all lovey-dovey and everything. But, they haven't had the really deep conversations and stuff. And so what Dr. Paul wanted is for Adam to like listen and not make any jokes and like force out after, because it's already been 4 weeks. We're thriving throughout the season. It's already been 4 weeks. And so one thing about Marissa is that like her father is not in her life. So Dr. Paul made Marissa talk about her father and how he wasn't there. So Marissa opens up on how her father had mental issues. Him and the mom tried to make it work for the sake of the kids, and she commended him for that, but it just didn't work, and he just couldn't take care of his family. And Marissa actually started crying over that and everything. And then, comforting her. And then Adam was just like, "See, y'all make my wife cry and everything. And Dr. Paul's like, "See, there you go again. You're deflecting. Instead of saying, 'I hear you, I'm sorry,' you're deflecting. You crack that joke. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like no. But in this situation, you got to take that serious. You got to make her be heard and stuff and everything." So he says that he does hear her, and he does want to have like those deep conversations and stuff, but I think right now, like, Marissa just doesn't seem like she even said that she really doesn't know what she wants. And she said that she doesn't know that if she'll live in his lake house for a year for better financial state or what, because she had asked him, like, "Where do you plan on living?" Like, it says, and Adam said that living here in Seattle, in the city, is a lot for him because he likes the woods and the lake house and everything. So yeah, I think with Adam and Marissa we're already halfway through. It's time for them to be a little bit more serious. So yeah, but Dr. Paul, man, Dr. Paul called him out on that, and I was here for it. He was like, "This is what we not going to do." So there you go, deflecting again. And because remember in the first episode, Dr. Paul made him call that girl to say, "Hey, you ain't gonna be. Hey, I can't see you no more. I'm about to get married at first sight." So yeah, Dr. Paul has been really hard on Adam throughout the whole season, and I'm here for it. And clearly Dr. Paul can't stand Adam's attire. He does not like his fashion sense whatsoever. And he calls it out or whatever. So I thought that was funny. Now, at the end of the therapy session, he went through all the experts asked all the couples if decision day was today, like, would you say yes, would you say no, or would you say undecided? Sean and Nikki both said undecided. Caitlin and Devin said undecided because they need more. Nick and Courtney said undecided because they need more. Tori and Felipe said yes, that they said that obviously they got more deeper conversations to come. They say yes. Michelle and Cameron 100% say yes, that they would say yes right now. And who else said yes? Oh, Adam and Marissa, they said yes. And everybody's thinking Adam and Marissa, they really say yes. That's come on now. They said yes, that they would say yes right now. Decision day was right now. So yeah, I would call it for just Michelle and Cameron. But I appreciate. Now I'm glad nobody said no. There was not a single person that said no. Like the ones that said undecided, at least they didn't say no. Because I thought Nikki and Sean were gonna. I thought Nikki was gonna say no. In my opinion, I knew that like Nick and Courtney were gonna say undecided, and same with Caitlyn and Devin. But I thought Sean and Nikki were going to say no, but they said undecided. So Mecca and Bella Jolie, they said undecided as well. So, so yeah. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that was basically it for this week's episodes of Married at First Sight. Thank you guys so much for watching. To all my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining this channel. Hope you guys enjoy my content. If you like it, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be back on tomorrow, Monday, to recap 90 Day Fiance. And we do this whole train of shows again next week. So thank you guys so much again, and have a good one. Love you guys. Bye.